Today on the agenda, I'm going to be doing a quiz on Git. Now, if you've been watching the past several weeks, you've noticed that I've been doing a number of quizzes and taking those quizzes and kind of explaining my way as I go through these quizzes. And the benefit of this is so that the people, the audience, you, the viewers, are educated on the fact that there are quizzes available that you can take in preparation to advance your career skills. If you're trying to get into tech, these are quizzes that I would recommend that you take, not so much to say, yes, I'm an expert at this, but more so to question or test your ability to be able to answer questions in a timely fashion. Now, these quizzes do have a timer on them that will time how long it takes you to complete them. However, I would rather emphasize that you actually be correct in your answer and not so much how fast can you get it done. My name is Kenny, and this is Tech Talk with RHT Services, where we talk about software development, web development, and a whole lot more related to tech. Let's go ahead and get in with this Git quiz. All right, so the question number one, what is Git? Now, if you're not familiar with Git, you may want to go study up on that because, well, you would miss the first question that is being asked. And a number of people will ask, well, Git is GitHub and GitHub and Git are the same thing, right? No, they're not. So Git is the version control software, all right? And no, Git is not short for GitHub. That's not how that works. Git is the same as GitHub. No. And coincidentally, no, I have not went through this quiz prior to, but that is a common thing or misconception that people have of Git and GitHub. They are not the same thing. What is the command to get the installed version of Git? Ooh, that's a tongue twister. All right, so the installed version. So if you are familiar with Linux, oftentimes you can do the dash version or dash H or something of that nature to get additional details or the version information. So this would be that command. I'm not sure if this actually works, but I'm assuming it doesn't since, well, Git help may work, but I don't know if Git help version would actually work. Obviously, these are not, the second and fourth options are not correct. Which option should you use to set the default username for every repository on your computer? You'll pass in the global option. What is the command to set the user email for the current repository? I've done this before because my Linux machine sometimes will take the default username and that may not be what I want to actually put in there. So I've had to change that, and this is what you use to change it. What is the command to add all files and changes of the current folder to the staging environment of the Git repository? So I would do git add. Now, normally when I run or try to add all the files, I would do git add period, and that will find all the files in the current location that I'm in and add those to the repository. But I would say this would be, since that is not an option, this would be the next best option. What is the command to get the current status of the Git repository? So it'll be git status. I've typed that habitually many of times. What is the command to initialize Git on the current repository? So you would do git init, which is basically initialize Git, or git initialize is what is kind of what it's called. And even though I see this down here, that is not the command. Git automatically adds new files to the repository and starts tracking them. This is false. You have to tell it to add any new files to an existing repository. If you do a commit without adding the files, so files will still show up as being untracked. So that makes that false. Git commit history is automatically deleted. Never. The only way you can delete the commit history is if you overwrite it by rebasing, or if you delete the repository in its entirety and recreate a new one. What is the command to commit the stages? What is the command to commit the stage changes for the Git repository? So that will be git commit. What is the command to commit with the message new email. So it would be get commit -m, and the -m represents message, and then you type your single message in after the -m. Now, if you do get commit without the -m, you will then get a prompt to enter in a message, and then once you exit out of that, it will then commit it. And if you don't put a message in there, then it won't commit, because you have to commit with a message unless you specify the allow empty commit option. What is the command to view the history of commits for the repository? So you want to see the logs, you type in get log. What is the command to see the available options for the get command? Excuse me. What is the command to see the available options for the commit command? I'm sorry, misread that one. So it would be this one, get commit help. In Git, a branch is a separate version of the main repository. Nothing is a nonsense word. Small win stick. No, it's not a small win. Come on. Like, really? That is, no. Come on. A small win stick? Like, this is technology. No. So, separate version of the main repository. What is the command to create a new branch named new-email? So, it would be get branch. Get branch email. Yeah, new email. Now, normally when I do this, I sometimes just check out. I think I check out into a new branch instead of doing it this way. So I think this would be the command. This is one that I might get wrong. Hopefully not, though. What is the command to move the branch named new email? All right, so what is the command to move to the, so normally I do this command that will do a checkout and go to that branch automatically in the same command. I'm going to say that one. What is the option when moving a branch to create the branch if it does not exist? -B for branch. So it'd be get checkout -B. I think that's what it is. Well, at least for get checkout -B, it would be that. I'm not sure for get branch what it would be. We're going to leave that one for now. What is the command to merge the current branch with the branch new email? So you want to do get merge new email, and that merges the two into a single branch. And that's kind of the dead giveaway of you got the answer in the question. What is the command to delete the branch new email? So it'll be get branch -D new email. And yes, there is a difference between uppercase D and lowercase d. And if you try to type the opposite one, it will tell you, hey, if you really want to delete this, you need to type whatever you didn't type the first time. What is the command to add the repository, all of that, as origin? So if you get add origin, or is it get remote? Get remote, add origin, the URL. And the reason it's remote is because get remote will show the remote repositories. And then so you want to add one that is named origin. And this is the path to that origin repository. What is the command to push the current repository to the remote origin? Get push origin. There we go. What is the command to get all the change history of the remote repository origin? So you want to get origin, all the change history of the, yeah, you would do get status and then specify the branch, which would be remote origin, I believe. I don't know. This one I'm definitely not sure of either. It would not be that one. Get fetch would refresh all of the repositories from local copy of the repositories we'll stick with that one. What is the command to show the differences between the current branch and the branch new email? So that would be get diff. I know that one for sure. And so, yeah, git diff, because git status just shows you what has changed, but it doesn't show you differences between two. And git log gives you a list of the commit history. Last question. Git pull is a combination of fetch and merge. All right. And so I missed one question. All right, let's go through the answers and see which one that I missed. I'm surprised. I thought I would have missed at least 2 or 3. Where is it? All right, so what is the command to get all the change history of the remote repository origin? So there'll be git fetch origin. Okay, so not a command that I use fairly often, I don't think. Typically I use git fetch, and that fetches I guess it does fetch all the change history, or at least refreshes the branch information. So, okay, that kind of makes some sense. All right, so that wraps things up for this particular quiz. Hopefully you've learned. I've tried to add some context to some of the questions and answers that are provided here so that you possibly can learn something while this quiz is being taken. I do encourage those of you that are trying to get into tech to take quizzes like this. W3 Schools has many of the quizzes, and no, this video is not sponsored by W3 Schools. There are other websites that do have quizzes. I'm just so happen to run through this particular site so that people can learn where they can go to improve their skill sets as it relates to technology. Also, these type of quizzes will better help you prepare for the interviews that you may be planning on doing or anything else of that nature. I will also add, if you do not have familiarity with Git, you need to learn it, especially if you're trying to get in development, whether it's software development, web development, or any kind of coding. You need to know version control. Even those that manage or do infrastructure as code, like working with Terraform or other type of systems of that nature, you need to know Git as well, because your Terraform setups can be stored into version control, and that being the version control can serve as a backup to the scripts that you have or the configuration that you have for your Terraform instances. Also, version control can serve as a source of configuration management. That way, if you ever need to make a change, you can go into the version control system or make a commit to that version control system and then deploy the configuration from the version control system using CI or CD. Last but not least, like I mentioned, every software development agency every agency that does software development in this day and age, to my knowledge, is using Git. Whether they're using GitLab, they're using Jira with Git, they're using GitHub, whatever they're using, there's usually Git associated with it. The days of using Subversion and other ClearCase and other software version control softwares, those are on decline, if not already out of the window, gone, long gone. All right, so any comments or questions that you have as it relates to Git, feel free to get down in the comments down below, and I'll be glad to answer those as best as I can. Last but not least, please be sure to subscribe and follow, and also give the video a thumbs up. rhtservices.net for more information. See you in the next video.